What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Week 10 recap of the Monday Night Football game, Giants and the Bengals. These games are always very, very close-knit, and it was a very critical game planning type of game management decision made by Ben McAdoo to go for it on fourth down with that slant that went for a touchdown to Sterling Shepard. But even with all that, Andy Dalton in the fourth quarter, he has a habit of throwing in the double coverage, and I don't really understand. Some people can do it well. Brett Favre, even though he had the most touchdowns, he also threw the most interceptions. If you go back to the time that he played with the Packers, I'm never going to go, after he left the Packers and started doing whatever, the only time that I will acknowledge Brett Favre going someplace else after the Packers was with the Vikings. Because, he went to the Super Bowl. Didn't they go to the Super Bowl, or was that a championship game? I think they went to the Super Bowl, right? They did something wild. I don't remember right now, but I know he took them pretty far and he lost off of another interception. But when you think about the Landon Collins, let me just give a lot of respect to Landon Collins. This guy, he's really showing out to be a great safety in the NFL, man. Not only for the Giants, but among all safeties in the NFL. So the G-men should be definitely proud of him. Watching this guy Andy Dalton make those decisions, and looking at Marvin Lewis and things like that. Marvin Lewis I don't know exactly what's going to happen to him, but like I tell you guys, I don't really bet or put any type of interest in him winning games, even though they usually are very good during the regular season. It's usually the guy hasn't won a playoff game in a gazillion years, but he's still just running around as the head coach or whatever like that. I don't know what's going on, but listen, Andy Dalton's errant throw in the fourth quarter to get interception to continue Landon Collins' interception streak was completely ridiculous and unwarranted. Now, those type of decisions is the reason why the Red Rocket, I don't know, people don't take him seriously. Even if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you really don't take him seriously, okay? And it's reasons for that. It's something that people have to understand. It's not okay to do that, to make that decision, because you really, really extremely hurt your team. And I was waiting for it, because he always does. It's sort of like Jay Cutler. You know that they're going to do something stupid, you just don't know when it's coming. And then when you see there's any kind of pressure, or it's like a situation where it looks like they're going to do something stupid, they always do something stupid. And that's exactly what happened. And it's the perfect time to do it in the fourth quarter. So looking at the Bengals, I got what I expected from the Bengals. The one thing that I always know that the Bengals are going to have is a good defense. Their defense is still stout. Geno Atkins and the boy, it was like line pushing all day. Vontaze Burfict and those dudes, they really play well. I really feel for this team, though. When I do these recaps and I talk about the Bengals, I know you guys are like, yo, man, this guy goes crazy on, Marvin Lewis and all these guys and Jeff Fisher. Because these players, they have a limited time. Coaches can be recycled and go, why is Chip Kelly still coaching? Just let me ask you this question before we continue this right now. Chip Kelly went to the Eagles, destroyed the franchise, and was immediately given another job. Now, look at Terrell Owens. He went to the Eagles, and one could argue that he destroyed the locker room, went wild, did whatever. Do you see how long it took for him to get another job? That just shows you the discrepancy between coaches and players. Chip Kelly can be recycled and eat honey buns and walk around being a fat, bald-headed dude or whatever. I don't know if he has hair at this point. I think he does have hair. I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. But when you look at the fact that the players have limited times, like the Bengals they've had great teams. Can you imagine with other decent coaches what they would have been able to do? But no, you got a guy with Marvin Lewis running around like he's doing something, like his butt is itching on the sideline. He always looks uncomfortable. I would even probably put money on the fact that even a Rex Ryan, even though I think Rex Ryan is all talk, that he would have possibly been able to do more with the Bengals than Marvin Lewis has done. And that's why I go so crazy on the coaches. Jeff Fisher, I believe, in my opinion, that because he didn't like Vince Young, he helped to destroy Vince Young. You guys can argue with me. I'm just looking at what I was seeing, the headlines, the media, what was going on with him, how he was reacting with it. He never wanted Vince Young, and he never accepted Vince Young as his quarterback, and that was the situation. All we know about this guy is that he came 1 yard from winning a Super Bowl, Jeff Fisher, and he wasn't even supposed to be there. So, just looking at that fact and understanding with coaches and players why I go so hard when it's a coach that's known as a bum. Like the dude comes out in a bum suit, like whatever. Like, listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm coming out here, I'm ready to lose. That's what this guy's doing. That's what Marvin Lewis does. And it's a sad truth, but even though the Giants and the Bengals always have tough games, you kind of knew the Bengals were going to lose this game. Once the Giants went for it on fourth down, Sterling Sharp slant, touchdown, you knew the Bengals weren't coming back from that because why? They have the Red Rocket. And the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, he's going to always give you that interception that's key. He's going to always give it to you when you really need it. Like, this dude just doesn't know how to throw to his own team. Because you're wearing orange and white, dude. The other team is in blue. What are you doing? I listen, it's very frustrating to watch a lot of these games, and these are the type of games that I sit and I watch and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate the guys the guys and the girls, because I have both of you guys that watch my recaps of my podcast and download it worldwide, and I appreciate it. So I sit through a lot of these games that I just don't want to watch because I know what's going to happen. And granted, OBJ is exciting. You know, I like to see Eli Manning throw the ball with his eyes closed. And, you know, it is what it is, but the Bengals are just, they're a mess. The Bengals are a mess, and it's just very hard to continue to see it every year with no changes. Marvin Lewis is going to always go out there and be moving around uncomfortable, like he has vicious doodle stains in his underwear, and he has to just keep, you know what I'm saying, he has that itchy butthole, and he's going to continue to make the wild things. Eli Manning somehow is going to continue to throw the ball on target when it's needed. Even though during the first half he was throwing some wild passes, Eli Manning does whatever he wants. But guess what? He has 2 Super Bowl rings. And he can always go back to that when anybody argues with him. Because not only does he have 2 Super Bowl rings, he beat the Patriots. He beat an undefeated Patriots team. So Eli Manning, in my opinion, you can't say nothing to that man. I don't know if he made a deal with the devil. I don't know what. Listen, bro, the dude has come up huge every time in the Super Bowl. Okay? I don't care when you look at the videos, you look at any type of highlights of it, he always has his eyes closed. I don't care about that when he's throwing the ball. It doesn't matter to me. That Mario Manningham got on the left side in the Super Bowl, he had his eyes closed, bro. He just turned his head, threw it. Bro, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. The man has 2 Super Bowl rings. And you don't know what you're going to get from Eli. So when you're watching the game, it's always that, like, all right, this guy about to throw a pick. Oh, no, he's about to... You don't know what he's doing. And that's the beauty of Eli Manning. Because I don't even know what his legacy is going to be. Because the biggest throws that he's made, a lot of skeptics can argue that they were the luckiest throws ever. And we have to be honest about that. Like, I'm not saying I don't like Eli Manning when he's playing like a decent quarterback, but in my opinion, he's no Peyton Manning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a guy that just comes out and you just know, like, all right, yo, he about to do this. None of you Giant fans gave him a chance to win the Super Bowl. I got diehard Giant fans that when they played that undefeated Patriots team with Randy Moss and them boys, they were under their bed crying. They couldn't even watch most of the game. And I sat through with them. And then when they saw at the end that they won, they had nothing else to do but cry. And I know most of you guys that's watching this, if you guys were diehard, you bleed blue, you were crying also. Because it was the luckiest. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense, bro. But that D-line was vicious both times. But getting back to the Giants themselves, Landon Collins, I love him. Sterling Shepard, I've been telling guys since the preseason, that boy is special. Victor Cruz, we know he's off and on injury, but Sterling Shepard and OBJ, they're a special unit together. I think that Ben McAdoo and them boys, they continue to build on that. I think right now the Dallas Cowboys, the Giants are 6-3 right now. The Dallas Cowboys just look like they're going to the Super Bowl. So I don't know what's going to happen. But if anybody can beat a team that they're not supposed to beat, it's the Giants. So I'm not even going to say nothing right now because when it comes down to it, the Giants have always surprised me. Because every time that I've said they're going to lose, they win. And most people that I said that to were Giants fans that agreed that they had no shot of winning the specific games that I said. Not that I always think they're going to lose. Obviously, when I, bet on the game or whatever like that, I know when, they have a high possibility of winning. But in the major playoff games, when I bet against them, they always came up huge. I don't know what's going to happen. I do like the way Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and the Dallas Cowboys are playing. We have to wait and see. I hope you guys enjoy these recaps and these podcasts, and you download them on iTunes. Go to GmiasWorld.com. Buy a t-shirt, and also download podcasts for free. I'll see you guys next time. One love.